Hey, Mark Rogers here. We just did the weekly play on Around the Neighborhood with Mark Rogers talking about retirement stuff. And one of the things we just came across is this piece of research showing how in the world, by two PhDs, how in the world are some retirees spending twice as much income in retirement and doing it safely? Come on in and take a look at what this research is all about. That is something that is always a joy to chat with people on from there. Let's move over into the next type of piece of news that I've. All righty, so let's bring my second piece of news. I found an interesting topic here: how to spend twice as much in retirement. Holy moly, how is that possible to spend twice as much in retirement? So let's take a peek here at the piece of research. Again, folks, we are bringing out research. We are bringing out research that we want to share. And let me see where my bring this ad to the stage. Let's go into move that, and then let's do one more here. Stops. I guess I got to stop screen, and then we're going to go back in and present, share screen, and this is called License to Spend. Now, these things are interesting when you see the PhDs coming out with stuff here. Retirees with assets that annuitize income spend twice as much as those with non-annuitized savings. Interesting. And we're going to jump over to the press release on this here. That in Washington, D.C., guaranteed income. Are you able to see that all right, Claudia, on the screen?
Yes, yes.
In guaranteed income, a license to spend, Retirement Income Institute fellows David Blanchett and Michael Fink, and I believe these are both PhDs, examine how Americans achieve their lifestyle goals in retirement through annuitized income. Retirees with assets that annuitize income spend twice as much as retirees with an equal amount of non-annuitized savings, according to a new analysis by the Alliance for Lifetime Income's Retirement Income Institute, or better known as RII. In their newly released study, A Guaranteed Income, a License to Spend, RII fellows David Blanchett and Michael Fink examine how Americans are far more likely to achieve their lifestyle goals in retirement through annuitized income, overcoming the uncertainty of life expectancy and the reluctance to spend down savings. And so in their research, they examine households with at least $100,000 in savings and compare how much money they could be spending in retirement and how much they're actually spending based upon existing guaranteed income sources and assuming financial assets are annuitized. They pair these findings with those of proprietary survey of 2,000 adults, over 2,000 adults, regarding behavior tendencies that may influence their spending in retirement. I just want to stop there for just a moment here. And I want to explain a little bit about what is going on here. So a couple PhDs in this institute have studied what's going on, and they're saying that retirees are happier with guaranteed income. That's what's going on. Okay. And so what's really going on here, and let me just go ahead and go ahead and share my screen here, because I think this really needs to be kind of played out a little bit here. All right, so if you're taking notes, folks, go ahead and get your pen out, because I'm getting my pen out here. So what happens here? You like my pad here? Isn't this fun, Claudia?
Yes.
All right. The question is, can we make this thing work? That's the big question here.
All right. Well, here we go.
Here we go. Let's see if it does. Let's see if it does. All right. So what happens is everybody's got their retirement savings over here. And what people can do is they can portion out, and this is the idea, is then this is a annuity contract with an insurance company. This is an insurance company. And if they don't have, and I'm going to put this in green right here, we know already that we have our Social Security number 1 going on. If it's a couple, we know that Social Security number 2 is going on. Okay. Most people, Social Security 1 and Social Security 2, most people do not have another guaranteed source of income like a pension. Okay. So this is how folks are doing it. This is what they're talking about here, is getting back over here to my black here, is let's say this savings account here is a retirement IRA or something like that. Let's say this is 500,000. Okay. What people can do, they can say, all right, I'm going to send $250,000 and keep it over here on Wall Street. So they're keeping it over here on Wall Street, whatever that means, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. I don't do any of that stuff. They still keep $250,000 on Wall Street because they want the benefits of the growth. But at the same time, they can suffer any kind of losses, because here's what they're doing. They're sending the other $250,000 to an insurance company. All right. Now, what the insurance company is going to do, it's going to guarantee them income all the way down the road, guaranteeing income every single month as long as they live. Let's say this person lives to 100. I can guarantee you that $250,000 by that time is gone, but they're still getting income from the insurance company. Make sense? Guarantee. I'll go to that, Claudia.
Yes.
Guarantee. All right. Along the way, so this is a guaranteed stream of income that's happening. Now, I just had a question yesterday with a client that says, well, Mark, what happens if we both die? All right. I said, well, if you had 250 and then let's say you used 100,000 of income, okay, then that extra 150K is going to go to your beneficiaries. Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. But what the research is saying, is this, is that in this scenario, this may be twice the income that they're taking out of this thing, because this is over here growing and they're not dependent upon this money over here. But this is twice the income than if someone just kept all 500,000 over on Wall Street doing what they're doing. Yes. They diversified it, put half the money over into an income play that says take care of all of our expenses above and beyond that we have. That Social Security, obviously Social Security is taken care of. Social Security 1, Social Security 2. Give me one more stream of income guaranteed. It may start a year from now, may start 5 years from now, may start 10 years from now. It may start whenever, or may start immediately, but give me income. And what's happening is people are finding out, well, or what the research is showing, is that they can, because of the fact that they're comfortable with spending money, they're getting a check every single month. And everything that they use that month, the next month, another check comes in from the insurance company. It just keeps on coming and coming and coming all the way to age 100. It just keeps on coming. The question is, this is the big question. This is what's been a big deal right now. The question on the table is, what is the distribution rate of my savings? What's the distribution rate of my savings that I'm getting? Now, these guys over here, if they just keep it 500,000, some people say you can take 4% out. The PhDs are saying, no, it's more like 2.5% out and not run out of money by age 90. But in this scenario over here with this annuitized income, you may see a 5% distribution rate. You may see a 6% or a 7% distribution rate. You may see that is being pulled out of your account and given to you guaranteed for the rest of your life.
Wow, Mark, this is such, I would say, insider's information. Because how often, I mean, where else? I don't know that I have ever seen this idea ever, this anywhere talked about by any other financial planner, really. And even by the most well-known ones, all they do is just sit there and talk badly about the annuities. However, here's an example that you actually have set up for your clients, so that you can have a plan in place for them where it guarantees their income, and also it it reduces their need to go to work while they're in retirement.
That's right. And they can still keep some of their money over on Wall Street.
Yep.
Isn't that beautiful? So here's
Yes.
the, they just took in this scenario, half of it. It may not be half, maybe it's a third, maybe it's two-thirds. I don't know what the number is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But the point of it is take some of you, because the thing is in retirement, let's say you have 500,000, that 500,000 is meant to be generally for income. True? It's there for income anyways,
Yes.
right? So either you try to create your own side income over on the side, and you're sitting there every year going, "Oh my goodness, Wall Street's up, good. Let's take 4%. Oh, Wall Street's down, let's take 1%." Whatever that is, you're going back and forth because you don't want to run out of money. That's our challenge.
One time I read an article where it says that in retirement, you will be having to manage your finances so much more closer, because every month you have to figure out something, you have to do something. Here's a plan that you don't have to keep doing that
That's right.
because you already know you have a guaranteed income through your Social Security as well as through your annuity, you know, through this setup, through this plan. And what a peace of mind that gives you. You can get to enjoy life with your family or with your grandkids. You don't have to sit there every month and say, oh, got to take out my pen. And what do I need to do this month, to make sure I have enough money to live on,
Yep.
right? We also have an example of that, right? Of one of our clients that are having to do that, put everything on hold,
Right.
and refigure their financial plan.
Yep.
And here they are, supposed to be enjoying the retirement, right?
And
And
so maybe I could, yeah. So let me just share with you. You bring up an interesting point here, Claudia. Is for basic income planning, and I just had this idea too. And this is really what it is. If someone wants to engage, at the end of the day, we say, okay, what's our assets, right? What's our account values? Just a general number, right?
yeah,
But Claudia, the number one thing is what's your monthly expenses, right?
yes,
What's your monthly expenses? This is not a budget, by the way. This is not a budget. I have a 2-page thing that I give somebody, and it's got some line items sitting there, and you just kind of say, what makes your life go round? I want my vacations. I want to pay off the car. I want to give some gifts to the grandkids, whatever that is, right? Whatever that is. And then part of that is then I build in here maybe special expenses, right? So we say, okay, if we have a long-term care event, right? What could that be, dollar B? Because we can get a pretty good guess on what care is going to be here in, say, 10 or 15 years, right? So a little special long-term care. Maybe we look at cost of living. We put a cost of living in there. We say, okay, we want to make sure our cost of living is going up at 3%. Over on assets, maybe we say, hey, you know what? I think I can get 4%. All right, fine. Or 5%, whatever that number is. I don't care what it is. The idea is this is a very, very basic element of what a income plan. I call it an income plan. What does an income plan entail? And frankly, at the end of the day, to start that, I do 20 minutes and we talk a little bit about what it is. And if we need to set up more time, we can set up more time, but I'm able to crank around this type of thing. And actually, we've talked about this too, Claudia. At the end of the day, we're looking for a retirement score,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Right?
Well, you've got a credit score, you've got other types of scores. Now we do need a retirement score.
We do
How
need
do
a
we get one of those?
exactly. And so how we get one of those is, and we're still coming, and just for folks to know, we're still bringing this out right now. We're still working behind the scenes to bring it, but basically, the idea is to have, when we put all this in, all right, your retirement score may come back with a 68% probability that your goals and dreams are going to happen, right? 68%. or it may be something like 72%, right? It all depends on what that number is. It could be 74%. And what it's doing is using actuarial numbers behind the scenes called a Monte Carlo scenario. And it's factoring in 1,000 different Wall Street simulations to say, what's the likelihood of not running out of money? And I've got that video clip I'm going to play. Remember that, Claudia? Right?
Yes.
68% of the time happens all the time.
Yes. Yes.
And so the point of it is we want to make sure and say, okay, with a little maneuver, can we turn one of these numbers into, say, a 92%, right? With a flick of a switch, is there a way to turn it into a 94, right? Is there a way to take the certainty, the probability up with little maneuvers like we just talked about here on this prior page? This right here is that very thing here. This takes some of the uncertainty, a lot of the uncertainty out of the game, and it puts money into your pocket every single month for the rest of your life on a guaranteed basis.
Yeah,
So
that's beautiful.
yeah, so we're in the process of bringing this retirement score feature out along the way. That's what we're doing there.
So
Um,
basically, the retirement score is a measurement tool
yeah.
that will help a person to know where are they in their financial plan for retirement, and if they have to do any adjustments, what those adjustments could do to improve their score. So that way, the score means that they will have enough money to last them throughout the rest of the remaining of their life, once they're in retirement. So that when you get to be 80 years old, you don't have to sit there and think, oh, I'm running out of money. What am I going to do? Wring your hands and then not have a source of income.
That's right. That's right. No, you're absolutely right. It's all about that building that certainty. Because Claudia, we've talked about this here recently with some cases. Is we got two different couples, both in their late 70s, and they're very, very different in their approach. And one of them is doing a little bit of hand wringing over the course of time. I'm seeing the cognitive thing coming down a little bit as natural, right?
Yes, yes.
And then the other couple has basically put their money in, over the course of time, taking money. They're both long-term care clients, by the way. But now as they're going in their late 70s, they've got questions coming up. The other client was taken care of with guaranteed contracts over with insurance companies, with annuities. They're much happier. Now there's some questions, there's some tweaking we're going to do, but the point of it is they've never had to be concerned with losing their money along the way. And that's very, very important to do. As you and I, Claudia, as we work with people, is what's your journey going to be like, right? How, looking back 15 years from now, when you're age 80, you're looking back, what kind of regrets are you thinking you might have? And many people come out of the gate going into retirement and they have no idea of the pitfalls and the risks that they're going to be faced with.
So, Mark, someone might be asking, so if you set up an appointment, if they set up an appointment with you, will they need to pay you for that appointment? How does that work?
That's great. And so as I put the 20-minute calendar back up, markscalendar.com, put that back up again. I just enjoy having conversations. And so what I'm always trying to do is figuring out, where is there a problem? If you're concerned about the problem, I'll be concerned about the problem. If I see a problem and you're not concerned about it, hey, I'm not interested either, But when it comes down to solving the problem, then that's where no one pays me directly, Claudia. Is what happens is, in these cases, the insurance companies, the institutions themselves, pay me directly to solve the problem. If we find a problem that we want to solve that problem. That's how we do that.
Yeah. So there's no out of pocket cost
No.
up front or anything like that. It's just merely setting up an appointment with you, have a consultation, and perhaps go see where the consultation goes from there. But there's no out of pocket cost up front for anything.
Right. And we either do it on the phone or we can do it on a Zoom. If it's short like that, we might just do it on the phone. I am doing Zooms, and I also do in person as well when time and space allots for it. but I just met with somebody in another state yesterday, as you know, Claudia, and I have the easiest software that they go, well, I can't believe how easy that was, and so really you just have to be in front of a computer, go to one link, and I can show you everything else.
Yeah.
Before I jump though off of this, Claudia, I wanted to go over one thing here that kind of puts, and I really want to spell this out. This is important because the three things we're looking at when we're bringing this retirement score here. So we're looking at market volatility. Okay, so this is one risk that people face, and so that's what's factoring into the score is market volatility. Okay, the other one that's factoring in here as well is income taxes. Now, we're not talking about that today,
No.
but income taxes is the amount of money you're transferring over to the IRS instead of your family. Okay, that's that. And then the other idea that's coming into here too that draws this down is what happens when there's a long-term care expense. And so that is the other thing we're looking at is a long-term care expense. And so in the retirement score that we build, it's going to take in one or all three of those together. And that's a good thing. The question is, well, then how do we solve for that? How do we solve for that? And so that's why we're trying to get these scores up. We want happy people, don't we, Claudia? We want happy retirees. That's
Yes,
where
we do. Because because why would we want to be so stressed out in our retirement years when, it's time to enjoy the grandkids, the family, and just have a wonderful, peaceful time, to do the things you enjoy doing.
Right, exactly, and leave it when these folks are hitting now their late 70s, early 80s, like I said, the cognitive, they don't wanna worry about this stuff,
Mm.
and so that's why for folks that are in their 50s or in their 60s, get 20 minutes on the calendar. I'll be happy to put together this retirement score. More details are coming out on that, and really taking in some factors so that you get that own report. You get your own report in your own hands in short order. So that's kind of a big thing there.